Alrighty, problem number 7, on to the backside now. Unit 4 study guide on similar shapes, most importantly similar triangles. We're given a pool problem. We're told basically a rectangle that represents the pool table. We're given a bunch of points to represent that. And we're told where the cue ball is and where the 8 ball is, and we want to bank our shot off of one of the sides of our pool table, BC, to hit the cue ball. And they're asking what coordinates should this happen at. So the first thing you need to do is get out some graph paper and draw yourself this pool table. So plot your points. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my points. I'll plot A first, which I'm told the coordinates are -3, -2. I'm told B is the point 5, -2. And I also have the point C, which is 5, 10. And the last corner, D, at -3, 10. So go ahead and draw in the edges of your pool table. Clearly, my edges are quite wavy, as I am no good at drawing straight lines on this iPad. But your edges should be straight, and life is cool. Now draw the last 2 points we're given. The cue ball at 4, 1, and your target ball, the 8 ball, with the coordinates 0, 7. Alrighty, sweet. Now you got to remember what we talked about the other day when we did the indirect measurement with mirrors. If you'll recall, we talked about pool first for a little bit, and we said when you hit a pool ball against the wall, the angle that it comes in towards the wall will be exactly the same as the angle that it leaves the wall. And that's sweet because that means we're going to get some similar triangles, which we love. So let's go ahead and draw in our similar triangles. There are my sloppy triangles. The tiny pink triangle at the bottom, the bottom line we see goes straight horizontally to the right from the cue ball over to the edge, and then that goes straight up. And then the angles that I was talking about are that angle right there and that angle right there are identical, which is sweet. And since I went straight over, I also have a right angle there. And similarly, up here, my other big triangle, I got that right angle there because I go straight over. And now I'm going to redraw my triangles a little bit nicer, and then life will be sweet and we'll start seeing awesome things. Alright, now if we look at the bottom side of this small triangle, if you think about that vertex right there, that's the point 4, 1, represented by our cue ball. To get from that point to our wall going straight over, since we know that the wall of our pool table, the side of our pool table, is going straight up on the x value 5, and our cue ball starts at 4, we have to go over 1 to get there. So that side is 1. Now here's the part we don't know. We don't know where on the wall to aim. So we're going to call that height x right there. Up at the top on the bigger triangle, I'm going to erase that 5, 10. Hopefully we know what it is. Now similarly, if I look at the that top side of my triangle there at the very top of the screen, I can just calculate from my target ball, the 8 ball, which is on my y-axis, to go to the right over to the side of the pool table. Again, I know that the side of the pool table is at x = 5, so that length is going to have to be 5 right there. The last thing we need to represent is the length, that side of that triangle. We don't know what that is necessarily. It's going to depend on what x is, but we do know that the length of that whole side has to be the difference between the y values of our cue ball and of our 8 ball, because if you look over here, it just goes up like that. So the y value of our cue ball is 1, and our finishing y value is 7 on our 8 ball, so that difference is 6. So that whole thing is 6. Now if we call that base on our small triangle x, so the corresponding base on our big triangle has to be 6 minus x, which is sweet because now we can set up our proportions as follows. We can take x over 1, set that equal to 6 minus x over 5. A little bit of algebra, multiplying, we get 5x equals 6 minus x. We can add x to both sides to get 6x equals 6 and x equals 1. That's sweet, but we're not done yet, because remember, x value, that's just representing that height right there, 1. But the question asks us to state the coordinate that it's going to go to. So if you think about it, we are going to be aiming at the wall, so our x value has to be 5. We've already talked about that. And our y value is going to be 1 up from our cue ball, so we're going to be at a value of 2. And we're done. Again, time to celebrate, because we are rock stars.